Hi, it's Katrina. From an Ice Age wolf to a parallel universe, here are 10 of the most surprising recent discoveries. Number 10. Ice Age wolf puppy. A female wolf puppy was just discovered in the Canadian Yukon, mummified and in almost perfect condition. According to Live Science, the wolf pup was preserved in the permafrost for approximately 57,000 years before being discovered by a gold miner in Dawson City. Professor of Anatomy Julie Beechin says the specimen is the most complete one of its kind ever found that can be traced back to the last ice age. Her soft tissue is still there. She has her hair and skin intact, and she still has her little nose looking like a poor little puppy that died just yesterday. This makes her the most complete Ice Age wolf ever found in Canada. By X-raying her teeth, scientists were able to tell a lot about her. She died at just 7 weeks old and is a Canis lupus, also known as a gray wolf. The puppy died all alone for some reason, perhaps when her den collapsed. She was mummified and then perfectly preserved for many thousands of years for us to find. Specimens like this one are fairly common in Siberia, but found way less often in North America, adding to the importance of the discovery. It's also given some insight into when North American wolves first developed. The puppy seemed to be related to both extinct Beringian wolves that used to live in Alaska and the Yukon, as well as Russian gray wolves. This is exciting because it's proof that wolves mixed at some point in the ancient past and migrated across the Bering Land Bridge into Alaska. Number 9. UFOs in the sky. At the Winter Park Ski Resort in Colorado, a street camera captured what appears to be an unidentified flying object drifting over the nearby hills. The object was caught while the camera was streaming live video, meaning there is no way it could have been faked. While the camera wasn't exactly designed to pick up random objects hovering in the sky, it was still a modern camera and captured a very clear image of a dark circular object above the hills. The picture was screen grabbed, then sent to the Mutual UFO Network, known as MUFON, for analysis. The person who actually discovered the UFO was monitoring the web camera for the resort. His job is to use the cameras to monitor the weather conditions of the ski hills. Every 3 minutes, the live stream updates. In one of the updates, there was a black disc over the top of the mountain, and in the next frame, there was nothing. While you may be thinking, hey, maybe it was just an airplane, this isn't very likely. Whatever it was had been soaring way too close to the land. There is no way a commercial vehicle would be flying so low. Plus, the witness confirmed with the resort that there were no helicopters in the area at the time. There's no way the unidentified object was a bug or some kind of bird either, because it was simply too big. The only thing that makes sense is that a big black UFO came and went so fast that nobody else noticed it. Number 8. The tomb of a priestess. A team of archaeologists in Peru recently investigated the chamber tomb of a mysterious priestess from 1200 years ago who once offered blood to the ancient gods. This priestess was part of the Moche culture who lived in Peru between the years 100 and 850 AD before eventually being conquered by the Inca. They had a complex religious system, one that, like others in pre-Columbian South America, practiced blood sacrifice. Her tomb was actually the 8th one to be found at the San Jose de Moro archaeological site since 1991, when excavations began. The experts say she was buried sometime between 700 and 800, but she wasn't buried alone. This woman must have been so important in society at the time that she was buried with full honors, meaning she had 7 other people entombed with her, likely to assist her in the afterlife, as well as ceramic objects, treasures made of copper, and a bizarre and rather creepy funerary mask. One of the most interesting artifacts buried with the priestess was a copper goblet, which archaeologists say was used in blood offerings to the gods. The blood was taken from prisoners of war who were drained of their essence. However, archaeologists aren't sure who these Moche gods were that demanded so much blood. But there's one more incredible thing about the priestess. She may have been one of the rulers of society at the time. Archaeologists have found that the most impressive tombs from the Moche culture all belong to women. They held great religious power and may have actually ruled over the entire civilization from the year 650 until its collapse. Number 7. Coins of Death. In England, a man with a metal detector found two incredibly rare coins from the 14th century, originating from a time when the plague was ravaging England and the rest of Europe. The coins were minted during the reign of King Edward III, sometime between 1344 and 1351. Discovered in Norfolk County, the fellow with the metal detector sent the coins to be assessed by professional archaeologists, who were quite frankly astounded by the discovery. They have given two possibilities for how the random coins got trapped underneath the ground. They say both were definitely buried at the same time, and that they were probably part of a purse or a treasure stash hidden by somebody who was planning to come back and get them later. That person must have died before they could ever retrieve their treasure. But just how much money can two coins be worth? First of all, they are crafted of 96% pure gold. Back in the 14th century, the coins would have been owned by a person at the top tier of society, according to archaeologist Helen Gagey. In today's currency, the two coins together would be worth $16,700, not including their historical value. Number 6. Parallel universe. In Antarctica, the world's largest neutrino telescope may have detected evidence of a parallel universe. It happened in the springtime, when the telescope, which is a grid of specialized detectors constructed on Antarctica's ice, detected strange signals that don't seem to make any sense. The Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, or ANITA for short, discovered radio signals being produced by high-energy particles from space. These particles normally enter the atmosphere from deep space from above. However, this time, ANITA detected them from beneath the surface. Rather than being beamed down from the stars, they seem to be rising up from the planet. The reason it's so strange is that these particles should not be able to pass through this solid mass that is the Earth. It makes absolutely no sense and could change the way we understand particle physics. Well, some people understand because that is not my field of expertise. One of the theories as to how the particles originated has to do with a parallel universe. Because the particles are coming from the opposite direction that they're supposed to, seemingly passing through Earth by magic, some scientists say there could be an anti-universe that is opposite to our own, in which everything runs backward. This would mean the Big Bang is the end of the universe, not the beginning in this alternate reality. Right now, this is just a theory. It hasn't been scientifically proven, though there is some degree of likelihood. To make matters even stranger, the first time this was detected was 8 years ago, and it's happened frequently ever since. Despite all the data and research, scientists still haven't reached any conclusions. That's physics for ya. Number 5. The fifth ocean. Finally, the fifth ocean has been unveiled to the world. A decision was made by the National Geographic Society to add the ocean which surrounds Antarctica to the list of the 4 oceans already recognized: the Pacific, the Indian, the Atlantic, and the Arctic. In a rather underwhelming naming decision, the ocean has been called the Southern Ocean. The ocean isn't a new discovery in itself, it's always been there. However, the idea to make it an official ocean has been around for about a century. But until just now, it didn't have popular backing. It was on June 8th, World Oceans Day, that National Geographic announced that they would start labeling the Southern Ocean as a real ocean on maps going forward. While this may not seem like it will have a big impact on the world at large, it actually will. Alex Tate from National Geographic said the biggest impact will be on education, because students up until now have only been learning about the 4 main oceans. Now, hopefully, the Southern Ocean will be included in the curriculum, and people will start learning more about the mysterious Antarctic waters. Number 4. Mysterious underground ping. In a remote community far away in the Canadian territory of Nunavut, a strange sound has been coming from the floor of the ocean. It's been described as a ping, a hum, and even a beep. And it's been heard throughout the Fury and Hecla Strait, an area roughly 80 miles north of Igloolik, a place so cold it even has the word igloo in its name. But here's the deal with the weird beeping. Locals are saying the noise is so strange that it's been scaring away the animals. The hunters who live in the region say that the local sea mammals have all but vanished, coinciding with the first witness of the beep. And according to them, it's coming from the very floor of the ocean. The speculations have been running wild. Some say there are foreign submarines lurking in Canadian waters. Others say there could be a crashed UFO sending out radio signals, trying to contact its mothership. Scientists were quick to point out that the passage is a migratory route for whales. It could just be whales making the noises. But the locals don't think so. They believe there is something mysterious and ominous on the seabed. They just can't figure out what it is. Number 3. Ancient Italian menu. Scientists have recently discovered what ancient Italians ate 2,000 years ago. These scientists took a close look at materials left behind on over 130 pieces of ceramic pottery crafted in medieval Sicily. The scientists were hoping to learn more about the island's history during the Islamic rule of Sicily between 900 and 1200 AD. They used a special process of residue analysis to discover the chemical vestiges of food left on the cookware. One of the scientists involved in the study called it the first time in which organic residue analysis was used to identify food in a medieval society of many different faiths. Here's what they found. People who lived in medieval Sicily had very diverse diets. They ate sweet, savory, and salty foods. However, when moving into the rural areas outside the city, the diet shifted and became heavy with dairy and grapes. Rural people also ate far more pork than those in the city. One of the weirdest things that scientists found is that they often mixed fruit juice with dishes of meat and vegetables. This is the equivalent of eating plum sauce with your chicken nuggets or having a spritz of lemon on your salad. In other words, the ancient Sicilians were a lot like modern foodies. Number 2. Wormholes. A wormhole is a bridge that can theoretically connect different points in space-time. A wormhole could, in theory, create a shortcut in which a person could travel to a different point in the space-time continuum. In other words, travel through time. Just recently, scientists have suggested that wormholes may be less science fiction and more reality. The truth to wormholes is incredibly complicated. To create one, the very fabric of space-time itself must be altered, and this involves pushing space-time outward with negative energy. Negative energy is a thing that really exists and has been produced in a laboratory. Scientists believe negative energy is what's behind the accelerated expansion of our universe. In a paper published in the monthly notices of the Royal Society, Russian astronomers said that there could be some wormholes existing at the center of bright galaxies. They also suggested we could find them if we train our telescopes to look for the right characteristics. Specifically, the creation of a wormhole would result in a massive burst of gamma radiation, which we could search for using telescopes on Earth. Astronomers have not actually found a wormhole yet, but the Russian scientists say it's possible. However, we would never be able to travel through one to go backwards in time. A wormhole like this would be positioned at the center of the galaxy, where the temperature would be so intense that anything that went near the wormhole would be instantly incinerated. Number 1. 6,000 years of history discovered. In England, a project to remove electricity pylons recently led archaeologists to discover the ruins of a Roman settlement and other relics spanning back a total of 6,000 years. It was a complete accident that this place was discovered. The power pylons were located in a protected landscape, and so there had never been any archaeological investigations in the area. But once a few pieces of ancient stone were found, archaeologists were called in to see what was going on. So far, excavations have revealed the settlement from Roman-occupied Britain, as well as artifacts from the Neolithic period and the Bronze Age. Some of the oldest artifacts include flint tools and scraps of pottery from 4000 BC. As for the Roman settlement, it was actually pretty impressive. Archaeologists uncovered 8 stone buildings, as well as ovens and millstones that would have been operated either using cattle or Roman slaves. There were also 34 burials at the site, with the skeletons spanning a period of 500 years during the Iron Age. Finally, a cremation cemetery from the Bronze Age was also found. In total, the site was used for thousands of years, probably on and off again. Archaeologists don't know exactly what the significance of the location may have been in ancient times, but seeing as it was used by so many different people, it must have been a landscape of great importance. Thanks for watching! Which of these discoveries surprised you the most? Which one do you want to learn more about? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you later! Bye!